Hey,
Hey, okay,
how
I did
are
it.
you?
Oh my goodness, good. How you doing?
Technology, we're
Yes,
here.
I know. Oh my goodness.
How
Okay.
is everything? So I see people are starting to join.
Yes.
So we'll wait a couple more minutes or a couple more seconds for people to join.
Great.
I wanted you to see I have my mini jean right
Oh,
here.
I love.
So it sits here on my windowsill, so I do look at that all the time, and I
Oh,
think of you guys.
uh,
Yeah.
oh, thank you.
The little things now that we appreciate so much more, right?
Exactly, exactly. We're all taking inventory these days, right?
Yes, yes. And now that we're getting into week number 6, can you believe this?
Yes. No, I
Oh,
can't. I can't believe it. Is this okay? Can you hear me okay? I
I
don't have
hear you fine. You
it.
hear me okay too?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good, good. So I guess we'll get started. People are coming in. And so, Kara, thank you so much for joining today. We're having these little chats and kind of taking the temperature of the denim community during this time. And, we're looking at any way that we can to stay connected. So first, kind of wanted to catch up and see how are you doing? How's your family? And people have been reaching out to me all the time asking because, New York is under so much of stress right now.
No, thank you. And yes, I'm very happy to report that my family's doing well, my loved ones. I'm doing well, and yes, I'm very thank you for asking. So yeah, it's been a little bit strange being in New York. It certainly has. And I'm also quarantining on my own, so that's a little bit different, I guess. So it is, it's a challenging time for everyone, and and New York as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. How are you doing? How's everyone?
Good. Yeah, yeah. No, it's I have my family here. So I thought coming into this that we would be getting on each other's nerves more, but we actually are doing quite well.
Oh, great.
And with the kids at home, I have an in-house IT department that's very responsive whenever I have any issues. So that part is good.
Oh, I could have
And
used them a few
yeah,
minutes ago, I think. But anyway, no,
yeah.
thank you. You were helpful. So
Yeah, but no, it certainly is different. And I think, for us in New York City, what many of the frontline responders are going through, and we see all the support from the community. I don't know if you heard Cuomo's speech last week, but the New York Tough rally, that speech that he gave was so touching. And I really admire what's being done in New York City, and hopefully we can get past this and be stronger.
I've been taking inventory of things I'm thankful for. So, taking the time to, have a little gratitude journal, and really, give thought to things. We're all in this pause together, and Cuomo is actually Governor Cuomo. Really, one of the things I'm thankful for. One of the people I'm thankful for. I have to say, he's been great to navigate us through this really challenging time, and so that's really helpful. And listening to, do I hear him? Yeah, I listen all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
as much as I can, certainly on the weekends for sure. And then I have friends that keep me up to date on what's going on, and I watch the highlights at the end of the day. But yeah, that's been really helpful, and it's really great to see him talk as a human being and hear him share stories about his family, or talk about New Yorkers, and that story of New York Tough. I mean, that's one of those things that you know I think, of those times where you're really thankful or proud to be a New Yorker. 9/11 was one of those times, and certainly in this time, really, really proud that New York is, you know, standing strong, and doing what they're supposed to be doing, staying home, social distancing. So yeah, I mean, you think New Yorkers, are they really going to follow these rules? And does this apply to them, and that kind of thing. But, people are taking this very seriously, because it is a very serious situation. And it's great that, everyone's really doing their part. And I actually am times where we
Also
can,
love
whoop it
the
up a little
7
bit.
Oh
p.m.
yeah,
Clap
I know
for
exactly. It was
the
great. Yeah.
folks, the medical people and things like that. So that I'm usually whooping it up at
At
7.
7.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think his New York Tough speech was great, and it does bring the compassion that we have as a community.
Hmm.
And there are definitely the parallels to 9/11, but this just having so much broader scope. I loved when Cuomo was on with his brother on the CNN interviews. I thought those were great. And
Yeah.
I loved his story last week when one of the journalists challenged him on, are New Yorkers really going to wear masks? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
this is something very different for us in New York.
Hmm.
And he says, well, I would expect that if you're at a street corner and someone's not wearing a mask, in a very polite way, like you would in New York, you'd say to the person, aren't you going to put your mask on now? And I like that he took upon himself to say, look, we're not going to, impose some restrictions, but come on, let's use common sense and, and this peer pressure that we can have for each other as New Yorkers. That's how he's looking at it. But
Yeah.
certainly his leadership has been outstanding, and I think this is New York City will need that going forward.
Wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and I think he gives us things to do, like when they extended the pause to May 15th. I guess that was just announced last week. That was, he's giving it to us in doses that are manageable.
Yeah.
So who's to say it could go beyond May 15th? I'm sorry if anyone's,
Yeah.
don't freak out. But,
Right.
you know, honestly, the pause, and, we're getting it in, really in bits that we can manage as people, as a society, and yeah, for sure. So,
Yeah.
no, absolutely, 100%. I know we're, New Yorkers, little gruff around,
Yeah.
rough around the edges, where we get a bad rap. But, when you have these moments in time, you can really see, what people are made of, and
Exactly.
this is.
Exactly. You do see what people are made of, and you see what companies are made of too. Which, I wanted to get an update from you. How is Cone handling this? I've seen some of the information on social media about what you're doing around the masks and supporting that way, but tell us more about what you're doing.
I think that's the same thing. Like, do people rise to the occasion? What are people made of? And that's, I'm always proud to be part of Cone. I've been, with the company for 20 years, and I always consider them family. And I think that, in this type of situation, you really see, again, what people are made of and how people have come together. The support has been incredible. Within the company. I can't tell you what do you need? What can I send you? Sending me hand sanitizer, my colleagues, and, gloves and things like that. And at the same time, trying to come together and figure out how do we navigate through this time. So that's been great. So really, as a company, we've really, banded together. I think I would say probably we've really embraced technology. So I almost feel like we're closer now than ever before. So we're global. We're, all over. I'm in New York. We've got our headquarters in North Carolina. We have our team across the U.S. We have our team globally. So, here we are embracing this technology, Teams, Zoom, and, I
I
feel,
saw you guys dancing the other
oh
day.
my,
That was really
yeah,
cute.
that was,
I think Tom's got some good dance moves there.
I
You
know.
know, I Alan didn't move at all.
He like photobombed our dance party, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was just an idea that we had, and then Caitlin brought it together. She's like, "Yeah, let's do it." Perrette, what song do you think? She just automatically came up with Delight, and then that was it. But yeah, so really, we're just coming together as a team and navigating through this time. So that's one thing. Again, I'm proud to be a New Yorker, proud to be with Cone Denim, all these things. But yeah, really, I think that as a company, we know things are tough, and we're just trying to stay close to customers. Most important, we want them to know we're here to support them, short term, long term. What do you need? So, that's one of the things. Everyone's staying close together. You know, uh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to plug in my phone. I'm so sorry. I thought I was gonna do this on my computer, and my phone is.
Okay.
Oh my
No
goodness.
problem. You plug
I
it in. You plug it
apologize.
in.
I
So that's fine.
just give me one
That's okay.
second. Hold on.
All right, no problem. I'll keep
Please.
talking a little bit about what
Okay.
I saw too online with your White Oak shop that you were having masks that you were handing out. You were having little packages put together of the mask, which I thought was wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
I have to say, a lot of sorry, I'm back. How?
that's
Wow,
okay.
that's amazing. So embracing
Yeah.
technology. Okay. All right, so I'm back now. Anyway, so yes, that was awesome project. Really, again, like internally, Ann Matthews from our IT team, she came and said, "Hey guys, working with Evan Morrison from Hudson's Hill, and hey, we have this idea. How can we do this?" And Burlington stepped up. Burlington, our sister company with Elevate Textiles, whatever, just to try to explain why I'm talking about Burlington, but.
Yeah.
Burlington actually specializes in making the reusable PPE fabrics. So there have been getting calls like crazy off the hook from all different places around the world. And basically, Anne asked them, can she have some fabric? What can we do? And so they were able to make this happen. We were just like, okay, great. We'll help you guys out with White Oak Shop. So a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that project. Those guys, I mean, sleepless nights and talking with, local hospitals. So the Cone Hospital, Cone Health, and also anyone, in the United States, different hospital organizations. So that was really amazing that they were able to come together and do that. And I have to give them a lot of credit. And we just, whatever we could do to support, we were there. And yeah, White Oak Shop, we sold, it was over 10,000 masks. So they
Wow.
were different sizes.
10,000 masks. That's
Yeah, they were
great.
in different kits,
Yeah.
sizes, and it was incredible. So, that was, yeah, we were really, again, those moments where you're proud, you see people step up and, really rise to the occasion. I mean, it was that urgency. I remember speaking with Anne, and she was just like, what can I do? We have
Right.
to do something. We have to really, and it was just this real urgency of acting, and those guys really put a lot into it. And then, they had some of the ladies that used to work, at our garment lab, and so Linda and Wanda came in. It was really great. So really all around, great job on their part. So and
Yeah.
see if we might even keep it going forward. So that's one of the things that we're working on as well.
Yeah, I love this creativity, the way people come together, the kindness,
Hmm.
everyone wants to help out. There's that genuine side, and so it's wonderful if you can continue it too going forward. Now
Absolutely.
now that we will all be wearing masks,
That's what.
Americans, we need 330 million masks now. So
No, that's what happened. The project started out as how do you, focus on healthcare workers. These masks also help to extend the life of the N95 masks. If you wore them over as a ply over instead of a single ply, you could actually wear it over the N95. And so it started out as the hospital workers or people on the front lines, and then it really evolved quickly to, oh goodness, everybody needs a mask, and we
yeah,
need masks internally. How do we get those made? And so really everyone's been stepping up. Alan, president of Burlington, his wife is organized local sewers. My other colleague Dolores. I mean, everyone's just really come together. And
yeah,
so I think that I was, when you were saying creativity, I was thinking of all these key words that I keep writing down and things that keep coming to me. And creativity, one of them for sure. Also community and kindness and compassion and all of these messages that we, keep receiving, and these feelings that we're having. It's just amazing. But the creativity part is thinking of new ways of doing things. How are
right.
we approaching, our this time, and so we really have to, kind of think out of the box, and you create these kind of series and touch base with people and,
Yeah.
you know, which I'm thankful for. So, yeah.
Right. No, there is so much of this time that we need to take. Again, it's something that's devastating. We're actually living history right now
Mhm.
too, that we don't realize. I mean, you're saying that you're keeping a journal. I have my little book here. It's my COVID notebook.
Yeah.
That's separate because again, it's how do you capture this time and how do we really use it to reflect? I mean, you and I right now, and many of the people on this would have been in Amsterdam or on our way to Amsterdam.
Hmm.
It's such a change from the way that we're working. And I think in many ways, we won't be going back to exactly the same. And we talk about, May 15th is the next guidance that they're giving us in New York City, but we're not flipping a switch and all running back into the office and everyone's going to want to meet with us. In
Yeah.
fact, since we're coming from New York City, they're going to be less inclined to want to meet with us. So
Yeah.
how do we handle that?
No,
And
my aunt the other day said to me, I think that what if they like closed off the borders of Manhattan? And I was like, what are you, Rhode Island? I mean, I was like, whoa.
you can't
I
do
mean,
that.
you want to, I
Yeah.
mean, and this is, she grew up in Manhattan and she,
Yeah.
was in Queens and stuff. But I was like, what do you mean close off the borders of the city,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, no. I mean, that's just how do we change, even as an industry and how will it? I mean, now we have kingpins happening this week online,
Mhm.
or
Yeah,
as I like to say, we can have jet lag now without leaving our homes.
yeah.
Starting at 3 a.m. on the East Coast. But how will that change us too? What are you
Mhm.
doing as Cone to reach out to your customers at this time?
I mean, that's where the creativity is really coming into play and really forcing us to think of new ways of doing things. So Kingpins 24 was a really great example of, coming together and doing things virtually. And that's what we had already started to try to do some virtual meetings with customers and, schedule some times with them. So that's really where we're at, really following their lead. What do you need? Are you ready to look? Do you want to talk about something? Do you want to think about the future right now? I know right now it's difficult to say like, hey, we're in, a challenge about we've been, working with customers and what does it look like beyond? What's the follow up to Kingpins? What does it look
Yeah.
like beyond Kingpins? And so that's what we have ready, if customers, want to see the extended version, they can, hit us up after the presentation. So,
Right. So
yeah.
what time are you coming on to Kingpins?
Oh, we're at on East Coast time. We're at
Yes.
5 a.m. Hello.
You're 5 a.m. Oh my God,
5
you're worse than
a.m. East
me.
Coast, which is
Okay.
great for, which is really good for, I guess, Europe. I guess that's right on time if we were in, Amsterdam. So, yeah, so, so that is, yeah, but
Yeah. So we are so you're Wednesday or Thursday?
we are Thursday. We're Thursday.
Thursday at
Yeah,
5. Okay.
at 5 a.m.
So
Eastern time. Yeah.
so we're right before you on Thursday at 4 a.m. With a collaboration that
Okay.
we did with Enrhyme and with Genealogia.
Uh,
And then on Wednesday, we're at 6 a.m. talking about the rest of our collaborations
right.
and products. So
No, no sleep till Brooklyn, basically,
no sleep, no sleep. But I applaud Kingpins for, trying to do this at this time, getting it together, overcoming the technology hurdles that there are in trying to organize this. And, I mean, what do you see? Will we have a consolidation of denim trade shows? Will we have, more digital? What do you think?
that is all remains to be seen. I definitely think the digital vision is something that's going to really, be developed a little bit more
Yeah,
because again, we're not flipping a switch. We're not just going right back to what we were doing before. So I think there'll be more interaction digitally. I definitely hope eventually we will have some interpersonal,
yeah,
interaction for
right.
sure. But yeah, I think that Kingpins has done a great job stepping up and in such a short period of time getting everything together. I can imagine it's been, I know it's been, a bit challenging, but they are doing a great job with it. And so, yeah, I think we'll start to see a little bit more, of these things. But again, I think we all talk about we do like that interpersonal connection, interaction. So
Yeah. And
it's
there's something still about seeing product, touching it, feeling it.
yeah,
And that's where, yeah, I've been doing a lot of the digital presentations too, but I'm still missing that part of, okay, we have pictures of it, but you can't see all those details where it means so much. And that part I'm still, having issues. I'm sure when we get back and before we can really get out and travel, we'll be sending more boxes around
yeah,
in order to have product in the right place for some of those discussions. But that's really the tough part is we still have that too, that element that people want to touch and feel and see.
agree. I agree 100%. I mean, especially with denim. I mean, denim more than any other fabric, I think, is one of those things you really do need to see it to get a real sense of what it is, what the shade looks like, and it's pictures only get you so far, but
Yeah,
I mean, now obviously technologies again, brought us a little further along. But again, you need that feeling and the touch of the product. So I agree. Now, how do we? That's the one thing we've also been trying to do is. Do you send a package that goes along now with your virtual presentation? Hey,
right.
here you can follow us along with us. But the other thing is when that dance video, we were trying to create some personality also in the presentation to kind of make people feel like, here we are. This is Cone. This is who we are. I mean, and also not knowing what to expect. Not knowing what the presentation should look like for Kingpins, or what should, but it's whatever anyone anticipates it to be. So that was kind of interesting to leave it open ended and a
Yeah,
project that you just kind of do your own thing.
right.
Um,
Right. There's no rules, and that's where we can
mhm.
create, new ways of connecting. And I think for the kingpins and putting the video together, we didn't have a lot of time either.
Yeah,
So
I
that
know.
was, yeah, that was the other challenge.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think it'll be interesting to see what everyone put together
yeah.
with their resources. I kind of feel like it's my cooking lately. It's whatever's around, and you just have
Oh,
to get creative with that, right?
yes. I think we had this very short conversation about cooking. I think when we did the women in denim,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
actually, people that know me know that I don't cook. And so that's also, I've been looking at what are all the positives out of, this crisis? What are takeaways? And certainly, cooking, FaceTiming with my mom.
yeah.
She'll be like, Carol, let me call you back after you prepare the chicken, then we'll do I'm like, all right, mom, give me. So, yeah, so that's
Yeah, I would say too, I talk to my parents more. I think
yeah, yeah,
they're a little lonely in some ways. So and if I don't talk to them every other day, they'll be looking for me. So,
yeah.
um,
Certainly
yeah,
bring one together. I'm talking
yeah,
to people that I haven't. So my parents for sure, family, staying more connected has been again, when I look at the positives that are coming out of, a crisis like this, but also people you haven't spoken to in a long time, people that are important in your life, but you just really haven't connected with in a while. And that's also been pretty cool. So
yeah,
yeah, I think in general, bringing everyone a lot closer together has been sort of the overall message there. And then
yeah.
how do we carve a path forward, I guess, too, Tricia?
I don't know. I mean, this is the big question, right? What does
Carve that
post-pandemic life look
forward.
like afterwards? And what do we take with us? And what can we say that was all just noise to begin with? Did we need to be going to 10 trade shows a year? And did we have to be, having all these in-person meetings? All of that,
Yeah,
and where do we have the juggle that time then going forward on those things that you find now that are important of connecting with family and friends.
absolutely.
um I don't
Absolutely.
know.
I think it's, honestly, you think about people working together and you see that like countries working together, governors in different states working together.
Yeah.
When they this weekend they had that One World concert,
Oh, right. Yeah, that was
all
good.
working together, and I think overall that's the message, that we all have to work together to figure out how we move forward. That's we're stronger together as teams or as people coming together. So maybe trade shows will join together, or different mills will figure out together how to navigate. Certainly, we're all working with customers how to navigate, but then what happens beyond that? Where do we
Right.
go path forward? And that's the unknown right now,
Yeah.
is um, where are we going forward? But I do like people working together. That's the thing.
Right. I think that's the only way we're going to be able to get out of this is with the collaboration. Like you said, it sometimes it's in small ways. It can happen. I mean, even now I see the devastation that's happening to countries that don't have the resources, whether it, be Pakistan or Bangladesh. And this is where we see also the interconnection that we have, and kind of the responsibility as global citizens to
Hmm.
support there too. And I find it very interesting, the pay up initiative that they have, where it's which brands are being responsible to their supply chain partners, or
Hmm.
partners as they've been told they are.
Right.
And where will that lead them then in the future? And will millennials and Gen Z be voting with their wallet on who they felt was being responsible during this time, and how we can go forward with that? Because I think that will be a big issue in the future.
I agree. I mean, I think that we talk about, what does it look like post COVID-19? What has everyone learned? What does every individual take away from this? And, you think about people saying they want to go back to normal, and, oh, I can't wait till things go back to normal. And, I'm really hopeful that there is I mean, we know there's going to be a new normal, but I hope that means that people are more mindful, that there is, like, now that you've taken this time to reflect on things, that, when it comes to the millennials or the Gen Z, what are they, what's important to them,
Yeah.
to your point about what are their buying practices. And I think I've heard you talk about environment, and what about the environmental issues, and where does that come into play here. And I'm hopeful that the pause that everyone has taken on a global scale has made us all more mindful of that as well, that we really need to be focused on, there are things that we need to be focused on as a global community. And that's one of the things. I know it's difficult to talk about production, and the environmental ways that we do production and things like that right now as we're trying to navigate, but those, I think, should become even more important than ever before,
Right.
in the denim world. But I'm hoping that just continues.
Yeah. No, for sure, Kara. I think that's very important. So, well, I appreciate this chat that we've
That's
had
it.
today. And
Goodness, I could talk
oh,
for
you want to
another
keep
5 more hours. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Oh my.
going?
Well, it's so good
Well,
to see
and
you, Trisha. Like,
I
we
it's
haven't seen each other.
I
So
know, since the Women in Denim gathering,
yes,
we haven't seen each
yes.
other. And so, Kara, since you're by yourself, anytime, just reach out. We can chat
I'm gonna take
again.
you up on that. I'm gonna take you up on that.
Okay.
Up
All
to
right,
something
good. In the
fun.
meantime, I
Oh,
have my little Jean here to think of you. So,
oh, thank you. Okay, thank
all
you so
right.
much. Okay, be
Thanks,
safe.
Kara. Take
Okay, thank
care.
you.
Bye to our friends
Okay,
at
bye.
Cone. All
All
right.
right.
Bye bye.